evening, or morning, wherever you are on planet Earth. It is 4:06 p.m. here in Florida, and I'm going to be hanging out with you guys for a quick 30 minutes, man. That's all I got before we got to start cooking some chicken and yellow rice, getting dinner going. What's been going on, man? Caretaker and Tan, good to see you guys. Thank you so much for the first super chats of the stream. Give me 1 second. So I'm going to need some major refresher when it comes to Kenobi talk. I watched the show as it was coming out, but I wasn't watching it with like the channel in mind, so I didn't probably absorb a lot of information that I otherwise would have. Like if I was watching the show, you guys know that I took a 4-month break from the channel. So normally when I would watch a piece of Star Wars during like me making videos, I would sometimes even take notes or really look at it through the lens of, hey, I'm gonna make a video about this, I probably should pay attention to maybe fine details and stuff like that. This time around, man, it was kind of nice. I watched Kenobi without even once thinking about the channel or making a video, and I just kind of went along for the ride. But that being said, I'm going to need some, I don't remember a lot of it. I remember thinking it was fun at times and I didn't think it was all that of an important story to tell. There were a lot of pieces that I liked and a lot that I just, it was fine. It was fine. Let's chit chat, man. What did you guys think about Kenobi? And through that, I will tell you what I thought. And again, forgive me, my memory isn't 100% on what happened every single episode. So you guys will have to fill my memory in. But anyway, Caretaker, thank you so much for the first super chat and channel support of the stream. Caretaker says, nothing like getting ready to listen to an HG stream while playing Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast. Get out of here, man. Really? A console ahead of its time, that's for sure. Caretaker, I still have my Dreamcast. In fact, it's in the we have an exercise room that has an Echelon bike in it, and in the closet there is a big plastic bin full of 2 Nintendo 64s, a Super Nintendo, and a Dreamcast. And I could not agree with you more. A Dreamcast is what was such an innovative console when it first came out. It was the first time I remember, I've played PC ever since I was a kid. I think we got our first computer in 1993 or 1994, and ever since then I have played online games. But the Dreamcast was the first console that I ever had. I don't know if there was another console before it, but it was the first console that I ever had that was able to connect to the internet. And I remember browsing the internet. I mean, of course it was slow, but I remember browsing the internet on my TV through my Dreamcast and being blown away by that. Not only that, but the controllers had screens in them. There were mini games inside of the controller, like a little Tamagotchi kind of thing, It was so ahead of its time. I think I still have my Dreamcast. I used to play Crazy Taxi and House of the Dead on it all the time. You're 100% right. I don't think anybody that ever touched a Dreamcast back in the day would disagree that it was way ahead of its time. But hell yeah, man. Sit back, Caretaker. Enjoy the stream. Enjoy some Dreamcast. I never played Sonic Adventure Dreamcast. I didn't really have very many Dreamcast games. I remember playing House of the Dead, Crazy Taxi. I'll have to look through what games I have. Dreamcast games. Let's see. Out of curiosity. But I remember having a Resident Evil game. I definitely didn't have a ton of games on that system. I'll have to go through that plastic bin and see what games are still in there. But hell yeah, man. Enjoy it, Caretaker. Caretaker, I still remember Crazy Taxi had that yeah Offspring song. I can't remember what that song is called. That song will forever remind me of Crazy Taxi. Oh, exactly. You just mentioned it, Caretaker. All I want. Yeah. Fuck yeah, man. That's awesome. We got the same brainwaves today, Caretaker. Hell yeah. Speaking of video games, though, a couple days ago, I fired up my Xbox, and I put on the Tony Hawk Pro Skater remaster. They have the remaster of 1 and 2 Tony Hawk games on the Xbox, and my daughter loved playing it. I mean, she just ran, skated around and jumped and stuff like that, but she played it for hours. And yesterday I hooked up my Switch for the first time in like a year, and we played Mario Kart, me and my wife and my daughter, for a couple hours, Mario Karting. It was fun, man. It was super fun. But anyway, I appreciate that, Caretaker. Lucas, thank you so much for the silent support there. I don't know if you meant to type a little message or if you wanted to be a silent supporter, but cheers, man. I appreciate it all the same. Mr. Lucas, thanks, dude. And Barry the Bear, thank you so much as well. Barry the Bear says, hey, man, long time no see. I thought Kenobi was good, but nothing to really knock your socks off. I'm 100% with you, man. There was many moments in the show that I thought really captured just fantastic tension. I really liked a lot about the show, but overall, I don't think it necessarily added anything of importance to I guess the overall story of what happened in the interim between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. It was a fun little adventure, but I didn't feel it was all that mind-blowing or even necessary to tell this story. I just to me it didn't really add much, yeah, I don't know. It was fun. I enjoyed little Luke and little Leia. I really enjoyed the Jedi trail, underground railroad kind of deal. I thought that was really fun. Some interesting concepts in there as well, but overall, it was. I liked it way better than Book of Boba Fett. But yeah, I don't really know. I mean, I'll go into more detail with my thoughts as when I make an actual video about the show, because I haven't done that yet. But yeah, I don't even know how to put it into words. I don't really feel like it was all that necessary, but I enjoyed it.
Obi-Wan was interesting. Felt very similar to The Last Jedi, with Obi-Wan struggling with his faith in the Force and himself like Luke. The show is saved by its ending. Reva was hit and miss.
SSK, thank you so much for the very generous super chat and channel support this afternoon. I appreciate that. Give me one sec. But Vince, Chi-Town, Dark Lord Revan, where did it go? SSK and 6 Foot. What's up, 6 Foot? Thank you guys so much. Give me one sec. Vince says, I have many thoughts about Kenobi, several problems. The biggest being someone apparently absolutely fucking refused to use a tripod. It was okay. What, shake too shaky? Yeah, I remember that. I need to watch the show again, but I don't really have a desire to. And it was okay. I agree with you, Vince. It was okay. There is most of these, Boba Fett, Kenobi, I think Mandalorian is light years better than both of those shows. But I feel like there's kind of a wave of mediocrity and not really taking a lot of chances or risks with certain things. At least with these shows, it just I think you hit the nail on the head. You called it okay. It was okay. And I think that's kind of the perfect example of some more recent Star Wars projects. They're okay. And that's fine. That's okay. Okay is okay. But I really want some shows and movies to really branch out and get fucking weird and start doing some really unique and interesting things, you know. But yeah. Anyway, I did see somebody say in the chat, like, as I was starting this stream, that they don't consider it canon. That's fine. I think that's kind of... Even, like, I'm not a fan of the prequels, but I never once thought they weren't canon. Like, that's the story that is told. Fucking fine. Like, I don't really understand where your brain has to go to be like, that's not canon. That's not canon. Who fucking cares, man? Like, like, we're gonna like some stories and not like some stories. We're gonna like some movies. We're not gonna like some. We're gonna like some TV shows. We're not gonna like some. Same with books and everything. There's gonna be some Star Wars you don't like. There's gonna be some that you do like. And if you don't consider the things that you don't like canon, I think that's kind of dumb. But that's just me. Anyway. Chi-Town number 1, thank you so much, man. Do you think Star Wars is creatively bankrupt? Chi-Town number 1. Yeah, I guess you kind of, I just was kind of talking about it a little bit. I just feel like a lot of it is just okay and kind of shrug of the shoulders. I don't, you know, and I've been saying this for a very long time. This is nothing new if you guys are familiar with the channel. That's what's funny, man. Like, you go on Twitter and you see, like, the same shitheads talking about how either me or some other people just, like, soak up everything Disney makes. And if you actually pay attention to this channel, you know that's couldn't be further from the truth. But that's the narrative that, like, gets surrounded. I don't know. It's weird, man. It's weird. A lot of fucking idiots out there. Anyway. Even Persian Immortal is one of these goobs, man. What you doing, dude? You're going easy on Disney Star Wars. I don't like a lot of it. Fuck off. Anyway. Yeah, Chi-Town, I do feel like there is a little bit of creative bankruptcy. I just, there's a lot of it that just makes me go, whatever, it's okay. The Rise of Skywalker is one of my least favorite Star Wars movies. The Boba Fett show was, I liked certain aspects of it, just like anything, right? I'm going to like certain aspects and I'm not going to like a lot of it, but, yeah, anyway, most of it is okay. Honestly, it's funny, man. Like, the thing that a lot of people, like, there's a giant wave of negativity towards is The Last Jedi, and I think that is by far the best, at least movie, Star Wars movie that Disney has made. I think that's by far the best one. Yeah, that's me. Anyway. I disagree. Okay. It's not canon. Rad. Let's see. The Dark Lord Revan, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that. Dark Lord says, where did it go? Really enjoyed Kenobi, but I'm tired of these shows that are 6-hour-long movies instead of actual shows. That's an interesting way to look at it. Yeah, I don't know if this was initially going to be the story of a movie. It feels like it definitely could have been. What I'm tired of, Revan, and we're going to get a lot of it. I don't necessarily know that the 6-hour-long movie thing instead of actual shows. I kind of see where you're going with that. But the thing, Revan, that I'm kind of sick of or tired of is kind of from the thing. Oh, one sec. Weird. Things that are shows with characters that are familiar to us. And I've been a broken record about this before. Weird, I just got a random ass text that just says hey from a number it's weird. What was I gonna say? I'm kind of sick of seeing familiar faces, familiar names. Like, the show that I'm most excited for is The Acolyte, and then with Andor being a close second, those two are kind of neck and neck when it comes to my excitement. But like Kenobi, Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Lando, even Andor, like those 5 right there that are all about a character we already know. Like literally the shows are named their names. And to me, that is boring. That's boring. I want new characters. Not, I understand. I'm probably in the minority when it comes to this opinion. Like everybody wants more Kenobi, more Solo, more, Vader, whatever, you name it. They want more of what they love, and I get it. But I'm on the complete opposite side of the spectrum there. Like, I don't want all those shows. I feel like that is kind of what's going to breed mediocrity. We're going to get a lot of familiar faces with shows, and they're all going to feel so similar to one another. And I don't really want that, Andor looks great. The trailer looks fantastic. I'm super excited for it. But, again, it's a character that we really haven't spent a lot of time with. So I am excited for it from that perspective. But I really, 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 really want more new characters 100%. Anyway, I'm a broken record, but I haven't given that spiel. I haven't vomited that word salad in 4 months. So thanks for allowing me to do it once again. Anyway, SSK, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. SSK says, Obi-Wan was interesting. Felt very similar to The Last Jedi, with Obi-Wan struggling with his faith and the Force and himself with Luke. The show is saved by its ending. Reva was hit and miss. I completely agree. I love that aspect of it. That is that's one thing that I think they did really well. And maybe even they could have done more of it. Obi-Wan's struggle with his kind of worldview, exactly like you said, the same thing that happened to Luke in The Last Jedi. This man, Obi-Wan Kenobi, his entire worldview has come crumbling down. Everything that he, grew up in, everything that he helped to build, everything that he, was a part of, and he helped grow, and he was taught, and he taught others about this system, this worldview. It all came crumbling down, and I'm sure he blames himself and his, he was a mentor, and the person he was mentoring, was the cause of all of this, or at least was a cog in the cause. And you see his struggle. And I'm sure there's people out there that are bitching and moaning about that. Luckily, I haven't paid attention to any of the fan base stuff in the past 4 months. That's why taking a little break from the channel was nice from that perspective too. But I'm sure, no question about it, there were people bitching and moaning about like Obi-Wan Kenobi struggling. What do you expect him to do? You expect him to like bust out of the cave, ripped as fuck like Conan the Barbarian, swinging his lightsaber, saying, "It's time for revenge"? No, he's a human being. He's a man. He's struggling, and I like it. Anyway, cheers, SSK. I appreciate it. I thought Reva was a pretty solid character. There were some twists in there with her that I appreciated. She wasn't like so two-dimensional, you know what I mean? But anyway, cheers, man. I appreciate the hell out of that generous super chat channel support this afternoon. SSK, 100% agreed. 100% agreed. It's Kenobin time. Nice. 6 foot piss radius. Good to see you, my man. Hope you're doing well. 6 foot says, I just found out that my neighbors held a meeting about the peeping Tom. It's weird that they forgot to invite me. How are you these days? Oh, are you the peeping Tom? You son of a bitch. It's good to, you all. My favorite thing about 6 foot, other than, so 6 foot, golly, how long ago was that, man? 6 foot. We used to play like PUBG as a crew. Me and 6 foot and a few other guys. We would play PUBG, and occasionally we would stream it, but I think we just played it for the fuck of it, more than that, you know. That was a blast. But he always has the goofiest, weirdest shit for me to read on live stream, and it's always fantastic. Anyway, doing good, 6 foot, doing good. The career is going really well. It was kind of nice to take, a 4-month break from the channel. It was out of necessity. It was kind of planned since January. I knew I was going to take a 4-month break around April or May. And that's what I did. Just to kind of buckle down and focus on some certain things with the career. And everything's going really well, man. Really well. Should have done this 10 years ago, but it is what it is. If I did this 10 years ago, the HelloGreedo YouTube channel never would have gotten
Happy you're back and that I can finally catch stream. Eps 1 and 2 gave me exactly what I wanted, and what I didn't even know I wanted, but it was a downward trajectory from there, and was overall mediocre.
I appreciate that, Dylan Compton. Thank you so much. Did you hear that, Josh? Thank you so much for the generous super chat and channel support this afternoon. 1 sec, man. 1 sec. I'm long-winded. All right, let's see where I'm at. I got Lucas, Vince, Franz Nerdnan, Bearded, Oscar, Swag, Oscar, and Dylan. Thank you for the patience, guys. I'm long-winded. Let's see. Lucas says, meant to send a message. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. You super chatted earlier and you forgot to type a message. Now you're typing a message. Gotcha, Lucas. Lucas says, meant to send a message. Kenobi should have been a movie. Felt like they added some filler around the middle of the show to make it a TV show. That's potentially exactly what happened. I wouldn't be surprised because the initial rumor swirling around was that Kenobi was going to get his own movie. This was years ago. And then maybe it turned into a TV show. But yeah, there were some moments where that was pretty bogged down and pretty yeah, I really don't know. There's certain things that I need to watch the show again, Lucas. I do. Because I did feel like the middle, like beginning middle-ish, maybe episodes 2 and 3. I don't really remember specifics. There was a few that just kind of maybe could have been skipped or didn't necessarily I don't know, do anything for me, there's yeah, I don't know. One of my favorite things, Lucas, was what episode did this happen? I think it was in the second. Correct me if I'm wrong. I probably am, but Obi-Wan Kenobi and Leia are together and they're walking around. I don't remember what planet, but they get into a taxi, an Uber, some kind of bus or something like that with this alien character, and who I think is voiced by someone famous, but I don't remember. And on the back of his vehicle is like the Imperial symbol, the Imperial logo. I thought that episode was great from what I remember. Specifically that moment, I really liked how there was a lot of tension there, But yeah, Lucas, for the most part, it just it was okay, and I enjoyed it for the most part, but again, mediocrity. I don't want I don't know. There's a part of me that's just like everything kind of feels similar to one another. Everything looks and feels the same to other Star Wars stuff, and I don't want that to be the case moving forward with all these other planned shows, But yeah, what can you do? Anyway, I appreciate that, Lucas. And Vince, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Vince says, when Mandalorian was over, I said, wow, that's Star Wars at its best. When Kenobi was over, I said, all right, I need to go to Publix and pick up some milk. Yeah, that is fucking funny, man. It's funny. I feel absolutely 100% the same way. Especially season 1 of The Mandalorian. that was such a special viewing experience. Season 1. See, I enjoy season 2 too, but season 1 was such a special viewing experience because here we are, you know, we're Star Wars fans, we're watching something new, brand new, with new characters that we've never met before. No familiar faces until and then in season 1, and it's such a special experience because it doesn't lean on anything. It doesn't lean on Ahsoka. It doesn't lean on Kenobi. It doesn't lean on Luke. It doesn't lean on all these other characters that we know. It is just fresh and new, and that's what I completely agree. Wow, that's Star Wars at its best. And then Kenobi was over, and to me, it was not memorable at all. There's certain parts that I thought were really well done, but it did not have the staying power in my brain like season 1 of The Mandalorian
Not seen
had.
Any
you know,
new Star Wars stuff. It's all a bit saturated now. Any of the new stuff worth watching? Great to see you back.
Gary, thank you so much for the generous super chat and channel support as well. Thank you so much. Give me one sec, man. Franz Nerdanan, Bearded, Oscar Swag, Oscar Dylan, and Gary. I appreciate it, guys. Franz said, have you watched Light and Magic? I loved it so much, but I hate seeing George Lucas get all quivery and teary-eyed. No, I haven't. I haven't watched it yet. We're currently watching The Bear, which is great. I think we watched like 5 episodes last night. I'll have to watch it on my own probably. Me and my wife always start shows together, and then like we just binge the shit out of them. And me working the firefighting schedule, you know, we really have to pick and choose what we watch because, or like it's kind of neat because I work 24 hours on and then I'm off for 2 days. That's the firefighting schedule. And in my 24-hour shift, you know, she has shows that she wants to watch that I'm not really that interested in. So I'll watch some stuff like on my laptop at the station at night, and I can fire up Light and Magic. Maybe I'll do that. But anyway, no, I'm excited to check it out, Franz. I eventually will. You kind of scared me though with the George getting all quivery and teary-eyed. Goodness, old man kind of looking back and realizing that it's you know, you'll never have those glory days again, and oh, that breaks my heart. I almost don't want to watch it now. Anyway, I appreciate that, Franz. And Bearded Emperor, thank you so much. I hate Bearded says, I hate the Star Wars fan base. Y'all know why. Cheers, man. Yeah, like, it's not just Star Wars, though. I think it's any group. It's any fan base. You know, like I'm a big Star Trek fan, but I don't really like any of the newer shows. Picard, blah, whatever. Discovery, meh, whatever. I did watch a few Strange New Worlds episodes, and I think it's the best thing that they've made in like modern Star Trek. But like I find myself kind of agreeing with a lot of the major criticisms of modern Star Trek. But I don't want to put myself into the category of like a Star Trek fan on the internet who complains about shit, because I don't want to be one of those people. Because I don't know. I don't like groups, and fan bases can be very fucking annoying. Because everybody has an idea of what the thing should be, right? Everybody has a different idea of how you make what makes a Star Wars movie, what you need, what it should feel like. Everybody's ideas are different. You got people who want, you know, nothing but flippy doos and action-packed lightsaber fights and flinging around massive boulders like Force Unleashed, which I have no interest in. And then you have people like me who want the Force to be subdued, like in The Empire Strikes Back, you know, a little hippy dippy, a little hash head mysticism in there. That's my Force. So there's like two completely polar opposite ideas of what Star Wars Force should be. Me on one side, and somebody else who loves the Force Unleashed on the other. So yeah, you're never going to please everybody, right? That's why you just gotta, as a fan, you just have to accept that there's going to be things that you like and there's going to be things that you don't like. That's how it's always been in Star Wars. That's how it's always going to be in Star Wars. There's no, I don't think, even The Empire Strikes Back, there's people that it's, you know, most people, I would say most people, it's pretty high on their list of favorite Star Wars movies. But even it is not universally praised. I mean, yeah, there's people, there's kids, maybe there's prequel fans who say, yeah, it's a great movie, but they wouldn't put it in their top 5. You know, they probably put the prequels in their top 3, or, you know what I mean? But who knows? Who knows? Anyway. Cheers, Bearded. Oscar, thank you so much for the 2 super chats here. Oscar says, 6 out of 10. In principle, I don't like that Vader and Obi meet again before A New Hope, but that fight in Kenobi Episode 6 was fun to watch. Reva was underdeveloped. Best thing about Boba Fett was seeing the Sarlacc. Yeah, I dug that. I completely agree, Oscar. I don't. It was an unnecessary story to tell. You know, I remember right when Kenobi. I remember when Kenobi was first announced, and I always said, like, I don't really necessarily want Vader in it. I think it would be more interesting to have Kenobi, you know, be this self-isolated guy on Tatooine who has marooned himself and is just kind of struggling. And, you know, you see his complications with the locals and stuff like that. I think that would be a more interesting Kenobi show, a deep character study, and not even have any lightsaber or Vader action. You know, that's what I was saying for years. Obviously, I knew that wasn't going to happen, just by virtue of people want to see Vader and Kenobi. But I didn't really need that. You know, we have their matchup, we have their meeting. They haven't seen each other for ages in A New Hope, and you get that vibe. And yeah, I don't think it was all that necessary. But yeah, anyway, Oscar, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Picard. Oh, you guys are talking about Discovery and Picard. See, I love Captain Picard. The Next Generation is my favorite Star Trek by far. I love it through and through. Even behind me on my wall, across from my computer desk, and I'm sure you guys have seen it in videos or pictures or whatnot, I have a painting of Captain Picard looking, he looks like he's contemplating something. Or maybe he's sitting on the toilet now that I look at it. But but I love it. I love Picard, the man, the captain from The Next Generation. And I, you know, if I stuck with Picard, I think I watched 2 or 3 episodes. If I stuck with the show, I'm sure I would appreciate it a little more. And there's probably nothing against the character of Picard in the show. The show itself didn't do anything for me, you know? But yeah. Anyway. Swag Rat, Dylan, and Gary, thank you guys for coming in with the super chats. Swag Rat said, just watched a bunch of Conan O'Brien. How are you, Greedo? Nice, Conan O'Brien. I love Conan, man. What did you just like binge watched his YouTube clips and stuff like that? I remember one of my best friends. I met him probably when I was 12 or 13, going into high school. We had an art class together, and he was a year older than me. I thought he was cool as shit, skateboarder. You know, we still play games and talk today, to this day. But in fact, I saw him not too long ago. He has 2 kids now, and we all hung out, our families, and good dude. Ended up joining the Navy, being an officer in the Navy, and I went and enlisted, and we've known each other for like since we were 12 or 13, 20 years, right? Now what the fuck was I even gonna say? I don't even remember what I was gonna say now. Oh, but this guy reminded me forever of Conan O'Brien. Still to this day, he reminds me of Conan, his style of comedy. But we would come into class, art class, and then talk about Conan O'Brien, like the previous night's Conan episode. And I grew up watching Conan, man. I loved his sense of humor. I think Conan O'Brien is my personal favorite late night host. Out of all the people that have ever done it, probably Letterman being a close second. But his podcast is fantastic. Podcast is great. Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. I'm glad to see that he kind of like transitioned from television, had his little 30-minute TBS show, and then his podcast is booming, and it's a good venue. It's a good fit for him, I think. Anyway. Yeah, I don't think I'd follow Conan on Twitter, do I? Yeah, I know for a fact I do. I know for a fact I do. Yeah, I do. I follow him. Yep. He has 28.5 million followers. Jeez. Anyway. Yeah, hell yeah, Swag. Yeah, he's great. He's great. For sure. Anyway, cheers, man. Yeah. Good old Conan. I like what he's doing, too, with, well, obviously the podcast, but he's been uploading a lot of old clips on his YouTube channel. Obviously, it's not him sitting there at the computer doing it, but, like, there's some really great classic clips and skits and interviews that have been uploaded in the not, recently. And I feel like every few days there's something that pops up and I'm like, oh, man, I remember this, Anyway, cheers, man. Oh, I hear dinner starting to be made. Or I smell dinner starting to be made. Oh, it smells so good. We're having chicken and yellow rice. Oh, it's so goddamn good. I love it. I like putting a lot of sriracha on it, too. Oh, guys, my tummy's rumbling. I'm getting hungry. Dylan, Gary, and A3, thank you so much for coming in with the final super chats and channel support of the stream. Dylan says, happy you're back and that I can finally catch stream. Episodes 1 and 2 gave me exactly what I wanted and what I didn't even know I wanted, but it was a downward trajectory from there and was overall mediocre. I would agree that it's fairly mediocre. It's just okay. It's just, didn't really do anything outrageously fantastic. I don't even know what outrageously fantastic. What it didn't. Nothing in my brain is overtly memorable about the Kenobi show, except for like really tiny details that I enjoyed. Like one of Jordan Schlansky's fantastic. Anyway, one of the tiny details that I absolutely loved from Kenobi, Dylan, was when it might have been the last episode or maybe the second to the last, when they're dueling, when they're hashing it out. Darth Vader's helmet is like cut in half or something. You see half Vader, half Hayden, and then you also hear half Hayden, half James Earl Jones, and there's like wheezing, and it was such a great effect. That's a little tiny detail that I greatly appreciated, and I thought it was fantastic, and stuff like that, that'll stick with me. But overall, I would agree that it was relatively mediocre, and it doesn't have much staying power in my brain. And also that the rear projection, what is that thing called? The thing that like it's on set. It's like a giant screen. I don't remember what it's called. It's cool, but I feel like it's becoming more and more noticeable. There's like a claustrophobic feeling to having that be like your main way to film a show or a movie or something like that. You know what I mean? Once you know that's how they do it, once you know that like a scene was shot using volume, thank you. Once you know that a scene was like shot in the volume, you can kind of tell. You know what I mean? And I heard that Andor is like being shot on scene, which is great. I think I don't even know if they're using the volume, I'm sure they will for pickup shots and stuff like that. From what I heard, it's going to be all shot on scene, which is awesome. But yeah, anyway, great piece of technology, but I feel like once you know it's there, you kind of notice the claustrophobia a little bit. Anyway, Dylan, cheers, man. I greatly appreciate it. Super generous of you in my 4-month absence. Cheers, Dylan. I like when they tried to do with Vader and Kenobi's dynamic with the Flash. Oh, that was awesome. Hell yeah. Dylan, thank you for reminding me. That's another detail what episode was that? What episode was that? Where maybe it was like episode 4. It was later in the show, I think, where you have Anakin and Kenobi kind of dueling, doing a friendly duel, and it's paralleled with what's going on in the moment. I thought that was fantastic. I loved that. See, it's the little things. It's the little things in that show that I really, really liked. The big picture, the overall presentation was, it was okay. But yeah, cheers, man. I appreciate that, Dylan. I forgot about that. Yeah. Gary, thank you so much. A3, Andrew, and Oscar. I got a jet right after these. Gary says, "Hey, Greedo, hope you and the family are well. Not seeing any new Star Wars stuff. It's all a bit saturated now. Any of the new stuff worth watching? Great to see you back." So how far have you gone back? Did you watch Boba Fett? Did you watch Kenobi? I haven't really watched anything else. I haven't watched any animated stuff. I would say, yeah, it's all worth watching. Boba Fett and Kenobi, if you just want to focus on the live action stuff. There's some really unique and interesting ideas in both of those shows. I loved what they did with Tusken Raiders in Boba Fett. But again, the big picture of the show didn't really do anything for me. And it wasn't all that memorable. There's a big thread of mediocrity in a lot of these shows, and I just maybe I'm being cynical, but I just feel like they're not. It's not like really pushing the boundaries and trying new things. It all feels very similar to one another, you know. But yeah, Gary, I would definitely.
Greedo,
one sec.
I want to say you're a great content creator, and your videos have helped me a lot through some dark moments. Just want to say thank you and keep up the great work, man. Alcan, thank you so much for the kind words and the generous super chat. I mean, ridiculously generous super chat and channel support this afternoon. I appreciate the hell out of that, man. Give me one sec, and I will address it. That super chat. One sec. There we go. One sec, Alcan. I got A3, Andrew, Oscar, and then you, man. A3 says... Oh, hold on. One sec, A3. Yeah, Gary, I would watch it all. I mean, even it... I'm not going to say it's going to be mind-blowing. Maybe it might blow your mind, but I'm not going to say that these shows are mind-blowing or anything like that. But there's some good fun in there. And I would... yeah. I would recommend checking him out, man. Yeah. A3, Andrew, and Oscar. Alcan, thank you guys so much. A3 says, hot take, Obi's episode 6 duel is better than the overdone Revenge of the Sith duel. Never liked it. A bit silly, ridiculous, and goes on for too long. I completely agree, A3. The duel in episode 6 of the Kenobi show is way better than the Revenge of the Sith duel. I've never really understood the love for that duel in Revenge of the Sith. It is so over the top. You'll look at something like the duel in The Empire Strikes Back. To me, that is way more powerful. It's conversational. And I know the Revenge of the Sith one is too, but like in The Empire Strikes Back one, yeah, there's neat set pieces. Vader throws some stuff, but
in the Revenge of the Sith duel, I mean, they're swinging on like ropes over lava and just like surfing on lava, and it's just so over the top and goofy, and I've never quite really understood the love for that duel. I get it, you know, you like what you like, but to me, the smaller scale subdued duel in episode 6 of the Kenobi show is so much better. I find it so much, you know, less is sometimes more. Less is sometimes more. And nothing was, I feel like, to me, less is more when it comes to a lightsaber duel as well. But anyway, cheers, A3. I appreciate that, man. And Andrew, thank you so much. Andrew says, I give Kenobi an 8 out of 10. Andor also looks promising. I don't even know what I would give. First of all, good to see you, Andrew. I don't even know what I would give Kenobi in terms of a score. I maybe a 6 out of 10, a 7 out of 10. It's hard for me to put it into a ranking, you know? But I completely agree, Andrew. And I hope it's not the trickery of the trailer, but Andor looks like Andor looks really promising to me. It looks like it might gear up to be my favorite show out of even The Mandalorian, man. I love the setup that they're giving Andor. It seems like there's going to be a lot of moving parts in terms of like people vying for power and organizations and vying for power and kind of watching the political posturing of all these people involved in the buildup of the empire, you know. I think it could be a big game of chess, you know, and I think I would love that if that's the case. Now, my wife watched the trailer with me, and she was like, it looks like everything else. And I was like, shit, I kind of, yeah, it all kind of looks the same, doesn't it? It's hard to disagree with her. It all does kind of look the same. But anyway, cheers, Andrew. I'm really looking forward to it. And Oscar Rodriguez, thank you so much. Oscar says, despite my gripes, seeing Haydenson embraced is a joy. Oh, absolutely, man. So yeah, I haven't talked about this in like 4 months, but I have been a broken record in the past about this, but it was so cool and honestly very unexpected. In hindsight, it shouldn't have been unexpected, but what I'm talking about is the wave of love for those movies, the prequels, you know, because when those movies came out, I was 13, and I will tell you what, I heard nothing but negativity, from me included. I didn't like those. I'm still not a big fan of those movies at all. But especially back then in '99, I was 13, and I would go to like Titan Comics in Atlanta, Georgia, and all you would hear was negativity. The vast majority of people that I ever interacted with did not like those movies. You go on, I was very active on the internet back then as well, and it was nothing but negativity. Nobody liked that shit. But eventually, 20 years later, there's a wave of kids who grew up with those movies, and that wave was a wave of positivity. Now that they're, old enough, and I'm sure some of you guys listening to my voice right now are in this camp, they're old enough to have a voice on the internet. And there's like a wave of love that comes with it. And it's neat to see. I never would have predicted it, just because, for 10, 15 years, all you heard was people, me included, shitting all over those movies and not liking them. And then boom, all of a sudden, like, the kids who were 5, 6, 7, whatever, watching those movies are now 18, 19, 20 years old, telling you to fuck off. I like Attack of the Clones. Okay, fine. But yeah. Anyway, it's a joy to see that embrace for sure, Oscar. Despite not really liking the movies, it's cool to see. Also, we just get older and the edges start. And dude, I'm 36. If I was still, the hothead that I was at 18 or 19, making videos on the internet, like bitching and moaning about certain things, like I would feel like such a fucking loser. But hey, man, there's a lot of that on the internet, right? Anyway. Anyway, cheers. Alcan, thank you so much for the generous super chat and channel support and the kind words. Alcan says, hey, Greedo, I just want to say you're a great content creator, and your videos have helped me a lot through some dark moments. Just want to say thank you and keep up the great work, man. Well, cheers. I greatly appreciate that. I hope it's nothing too serious, but, it's... I have YouTubers or podcasts that I listen to that that kind of do it for me as well. And it's weird, and it's weird, and I feel like a sense of not importance, but responsibility is what I mean. A sense of responsibility when I hear that kind of stuff, Alcan. I feel like I need to keep making and talking, and whether it's through these fun live streams or making goofy videos, I feel a sense of responsibility. And taking that 4-month break that I just left felt weird, but it feels good to be back, dude. It feels good to be back. But yeah, Alken, I greatly appreciate the kind words. I greatly appreciate the kind words. And yeah, man, I'll keep it up. It's like I've been doing this for like 11 years now. YouTube on this channel has existed for like 11 years, and which is mind-blowing. And I've taken breaks. I've never taken this too serious. I make videos here and there. I've never put a lot of pressure on myself to like. I've always had other gigs and jobs too, so this was like never like the ride or die of my existence, And I think that's a healthy way to for me at least, to do YouTube. Like if this was my sole thing, I feel like I would lose love for it, And I've always had this healthy relationship with making YouTube videos. Like if I there's people who have made like 1,000 fucking Brie Larson. If Brie Larson videos bitching and moaning about nothing, like if I was pumping out videos like that, I would feel like such a scumbag and I would lose the love for it so quick. So I've always had a very healthy relationship with this, I can take 4 months off. Who gives a fuck? Focus on other stuff. Come back to it when I do. Make videos when I want. I never put that pressure on myself, So to me, there's an important balance. Again, for me, I know a lot of people pump them out and make a lot of stuff, but for me, I need that healthy relationship with this. Otherwise, it just starts to feel like a job, and I do not want this to ever feel like a job. It's supposed to be fun, first and foremost. But anyway, I appreciate that, man. Cam Skywalker, Jessica Mumford, and Cody A. Thank you guys so much for coming in with the final super chats, channel support of the stream. Cam Skywalker, where was it? Cam says, Obi-Wan was just fine in my opinion. I like the performances and the time period it's set in, but the story drags and is bogged down by overstretching. Yeah, it's hard to disagree with that. I liked a lot that they did with the character of Obi-Wan himself, the struggle and stuff like that, but the story around Obi-Wan, yeah, I don't know. It didn't really do much for me. Again, I said this earlier, but there was nothing crazy and memorable about the show that really is going to stick with me. I mean, there's certain things, like I mentioned, that I really loved, like that the flashback duel between Anakin and Obi-Wan. I loved the parallels between like the modern day in that. I thought that was brilliantly done. I liked the tension in one of the episodes when, you know, Obi-Wan and Leia are riding on a bus and the stormtroopers are in there. There's a lot of great stuff in there. The duel in episode 6, I believe, is light years better than the Revenge of the Sith duel, in my opinion. Send your emails, your hate emails my way. Just kidding, fuckers. But no, I think it's way better. Like we discussed earlier with A3's super chat there. But yeah, overall, I think Cam, I agree. It's just fine. It's just okay, you know, which is okay. But I'm looking for something to really knock my socks off when it comes to a Star Wars show. The first season of The Mandalorian did that for me. Now everything kind of feels the same. You know, we're kind of playing in the same sandbox that we've played in before, and it's just kind of all getting repetitive and kind of mediocre, in my opinion. But hey, it's all right. We'll get there. Jessica Mumford, thank you so much. Jessica says, just joined the stream. Sorry if you've said this before, but what did you think of Reva / Third Sister? I really liked her character. And the more we got to know her, you know, at the beginning I thought she was a little two-dimensional, which, stick with the show because you never know. There's twists and turns and development, right? But no, I enjoyed her character for the most part. There's really nothing that I could say. There's nothing that I disliked about her character. I mean, I'm sure people. Again, it was really nice watching this show, Jessica. It was nice watching this show in the middle of a 4-month YouTube break and not paying attention to the fandom at all. Because I'm sure there were people complaining about her, right? What were some of the complaints? I don't know. But again, when you look at the broad, when you see all 6 episodes and you see the development of this character from episode 1 to 6, you get a good view of this character. Like, when you just watch one episode, like if I was just to watch one episode and then comment on the character, that's not fair. It's not fair. What are you going to say? I didn't like the character. Cool, man. There's 5 fucking more episodes, right? What are you going to say on the 6th episode? Oh, now I like the character. Cool. Well, that first video is kind of pointless. Hey, you should have just watched the whole goddamn thing. What are we doing? We just pumping stuff out? What are we doing? That's why, like, it always feels weird to me when I watch an episode of a show or something like that and then comment or make a review of the show. That's hard to do. To me, it's kind of stupid to do. It's stupid because you're sitting there watching an entire... You're planning on watching a whole season, right? Right? You're going to watch a whole season. There's character development. There's story development. There's so much that goes on in a season. And you're just watching one episode and you're going to make a review of a single episode and an entire arcing story. Well, that's kind of stupid, right? Why would you make an episode? Why would you make a review about a single episode when you got to because you're gauging and judging and reviewing something like a segment of something in an entire season that hasn't happened yet and you don't know anything about. Like, there's going to be twists and turns. You know what I mean? Like, it's always felt really stupid to me to make it like an episode review. It's better to do season reviews, in my opinion. But hey, that's just me. Cheers. Jessica, I hope I answered your question. And Cody A, thank you so much for coming in with a final super chat and channel support. Cody says, hey, HG, glad you're back. I thought Kenobi was okay. Bad thing about all these prequels is the lack of risks. We know everyone survives. I completely agree. That's why I kind of, I wish... I mean, you had that character in Obi-Wan Kenobi in the show who, like, blew herself up. I can't remember her name. So, you get to play around with characters surrounding the main characters, which is great. That's kind of all you can do because, as you said, we know the outcomes of what happens to these characters, after this. We know they survive. So you can play in that sandbox a little bit. I wish there was more of that. Like, to me, and again, I talked about this years ago when they first announced this show. To me, like, having Vader in there was kind of unnecessary. Like, I guess for a little bit of fan appeasement and to have Hayden back in the suit. I completely get it. It was cool to see. But I almost wish he wasn't in there and it was just Kenobi. on a quest on Tatooine, dealing with some locals, and you could have really played with some of the characters. You could have played a lot more if it was just Kenobi. If Kenobi was the only familiar character. You know, if it was just Obi-Wan Kenobi and not Vader, not Luke, not Leia, not Owen and Beru, and it was just Kenobi, you could have had a lot more risks going on with a lot more new characters, right? But yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm with you, Cody. And Benjamin B, thank you so much for coming in with this final super chat and channel support of the stream. I smell dinner cooking downstairs, and my tummy is rumbling. Yeah, I'm about to go eat. It'll probably be done in 30 minutes. Chicken and yellow rice, it's so damn good. Benjamin B says, I enjoyed Obi-Wan, but I feel like I'm all Star Wars'd out, at least of this era. Still looking forward to the Acolyte. The High Republic books are fine. Are fire. Okay. Oh, it's funny, man. It's funny, like, so I'm 36, right? And I work in I'm a firefighter. So I work with a lot of younger guys who maybe just got out of the academy or are young. And fire, there's a lingo that is, it's funny because I finally feel a little old, you know? There's so much lingo and slang and it's like, it's kind of neat because it's keeping me young. I don't say it, but I hear it. Yeah, I like it, man. Fire is an example of that. I hear bet. I still don't really necessarily know what bet means, but like there's 19, 20-year-old kids who are firefighters, and I'm a 36-year-old firefighter, and they say bet and prime, and like, I guess instead of like, I would say awesome. Oh, that's fucking awesome. Or rad. Maybe they say bet instead, you know? Hey, we all, I don't know. It's kind of neat. What am I even fucking talking about? Benjamin B, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I still haven't read a High Republic book. I will eventually. I'm gonna start bringing my Kindle to the station. Yeah, eventually I'll read it. I'll read one. What's the first one? The what's it called? Light of the Jedi, or Light of the Jedi? Something like that. Yeah, I need to read it for sure. But yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you. You say you're kind of getting burned out with it. It's also like a lack of taking risks and stuff like that. You said you're burned out of the same era over and over again. I completely get it. I'm looking forward to The Acolyte as well. The Acolyte to me is still the number one, like my number one most anticipated show because, just because it's so unknown to us, you know. Really don't know what it's going to be about, and that's what's exciting to me. The lack of familiarity, the lack of there's just, I don't know. It's a blank slate. It's a blank piece of paper, and we don't really know what to expect, you know. And that's what's exciting to me. But anyway, cheers. And Kevin Kapoor, thank you so much for coming in with the final super chat and channel support of the stream. Kevin says, just discovered your channel, looking out for no special editions of Star Wars. Thanks so much for your great video. Oh, cheers, man. That's a fun entrance to the channel. Yeah, I've made a bunch of videos about the special editions over the years, and you know, if you're looking to maybe jump into some other versions, like despecialized in 4K 77 and stuff like that, maybe Google like HelloGreedo 4K 77. I've made some comparison videos of those before. I've even interviewed Harmy, who made the despecialized edition. That interview is on YouTube as well, so you can listen to that if that is something that you know, interests you. But, dude, Kevin, thanks for finding the channel. Cheers, man. You're in luck because I just got done taking a 4-month break from the channel, and now I'm back. So, back and ready to make some videos and talk about Star Wars, man. Oh, 4K 7. Oh, nice, Kevin. Nice, sweet. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. Stick around. We have some fun here. All right, guys, I got to go. See if my wife needs help with dinner. Hang out, play some Mario Kart with a kid downstairs. We had a busy day today. We're all relaxing, but... All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. To everybody who sent some super chat love over, I appreciate the hell out of it. To everybody who just kind of hung out in the chat talking, thanks, man. All right. Have a fantastic rest of your morning, your afternoon, your evening, wherever you are on planet Earth. And I will catch you all on the flip side. Cool? Cool. All right, guys. See ya.